Welcome or welcome back. Today we have a super interesting roll with a black belt. You're going to learn a ton from today's roll. Oh yeah, and congrats. We're almost at 1 million. We're probably going, by the time this video is released, we'll probably be at 1 million, so high five for that. So right here I'm going for a rolling Kimura to get into the Kimura trap series. You can take the back, go to the arm bar. I'm going for an arm bar here. He controls the legs and rolls out of the arm bar, which is a super interesting escape. From here I go to my favorite side turtle position. From here I throw his legs by, and this is super effective. Anytime you're on side turtle, try this back crucifix. And then from here you can do a one-armed choke. And on the near side arm, what you can't see is there's also an arm bar there that I'm working on, but he's changing the angle of his arm to escape the arm bar. So that would be the arm on the far side. So then from here, you can alternate between the arm bar and a one-arm choke. So here I'm going under his chin to go for the one-arm choke. And if you guys didn't know, I am going to be taking an MMA fight soon. So we'll keep you updated with that. Right now I have a matchmaker. Make me a match, find me a find, catch me a catch. All right, let's go in for a super interesting round. So I push his shoulders to get his feet up, and he's basically pulling X guard, and when he pushes me to the ground right here, there's a corkscrew arm bar that I really love doing that goes on really fast, but he slipped the elbow below my hips, which defends obviously against the arm bar. Right now, he's doing a very good job of ankle control, and beyond ankle control, I noticed that he grabs basically like the knuckles of the feet when he's controlling, which is a better way to control the legs through the ankle. There he had my ankle, and I was putting my foot against his throat to get my ankle out of the grip. Which is typically not a move that you want to do for like the first time you're rolling with somebody. Just put your foot on their neck, but he looks like a pretty tough guy. So right now he has a single leg. And from there is a transition to a back triangle. And anytime that you have back control and you feel like they're escaping, you can always belly out to go to a north-south position. Here I'm working a reverse armbar by stepping over the head, and then I transition to a step over Kimura. And a really interesting thing that's important for you to know with the Kimura is with the step over Kimura, you can shoulder lock them even if they have their arms straight. Typically they tell you, to defend against Kimuras and Americanas, you straighten your arm, but you can get this Kimura even if they straighten their arm. So don't lose faith or give up if their arm is straight, just keep on attacking. Another important thing that you just saw me do is a grip strip. So the grip fight is the most important first step, and it's often ignored. If anybody ever grabs you, strip the grip, address the grips first. So here I'm trying to roll to get a rolling knee bar. And then I'm playing some open guard game. So right there, do you see how he's grabbing the top of my foot right there? That is a superior way to grab and hold versus grabbing the ankle. So that's a small, it's a game of percentages. Like if you can get 5% better every single time you're on the mat, it's those small changes that are small and incremental every time that really help you. So next time I'm rolling, I'm going to try to grab the knuckle line of the foot. So here I'm trying to clear one of the hooks just by stepping on it. And you can see the fight for the underhooks here. And I'm trying to cross face to get his head from out of my hips. So he has me in a half guard. Oh, he just switched it up. But here I'm trying to go for a reverse arm bar, and I'm thinking, screw it. I know position before submission, but let's just see what happens. Sometimes you just gotta mess around and find out. But because sometimes you can, from half guard, this is a great sweep. This type of sweep is typically from X guard. So again, I'm going for, back sweeps, sickle sweep, tripod sweep. Those three sweeps you can interchange, especially when they kick out. You can go from one to the other to the other. And here I like this throw by. So here I'm going for a single leg. Before I can step over, he raises his foot up. Here going for a stack to a throw by. He has my leg. I triangle my leg and circle out so we can enter the leg lock game. Here I'm going for an inside heel hook. And sometimes heel hooking, I don't know if sometimes it's frowned upon when you're in a gi. So I just ask if that's okay. So with heel hooking or any type of leg attacks, you know, there's a whole bunch of fancy names, but if you want to distill it down to a basic principle, the leg that you're attacking is the leg that is between your legs. So whatever leg entanglement you have, the primary, get one of their legs between your legs. And you can do a straight ankle lock, you can do a heel hook, and it doesn't even matter which side of their leg. It doesn't matter if their leg is on the inside or the outside, as long as you have their leg in between your legs. That's called the primary leg, and that's the leg that you can attack. So there's a whole bunch of names, you know, there's like outside senkaku, which is like an outside triangle. You know, there's different leg positionings, but the key thing is, if you're new to the leg lock game, just think, get one leg between theirs, or get their leg between yours. And we have a very interesting find. This is a simple guard pass where you can take their head and shove their knee down, but I'm noticing a lot when I've been rolling with upper belts is they typically go to their knees to escape, and I need to find a solution for that. I find one thing in jiu-jitsu, the best way to develop game is to Pareto what typically happens to you the most frequently. Like what problem, or what's an escape that would benefit you? Where do you end up? What keeps on happening to you? And it's great in two ways, because then if you have a high probability situation that keeps on happening, and if you can get an answer to that, you can have a high probability of then practicing it during the roll. So for example, let's say you're like, oh my God, for me, something I recently learned was how to escape the Kimura trap. Because that's something that kept on happening to me, and no matter, you know, when somebody has a Kimura trap on you, no matter which way you turn, there's an answer for that, and I didn't know of an escape. So my coach recently taught me an escape, and now it's like, holy cow, I just decreased my rate of getting submitted due to the Kimura trap probably by like 75%. Another thing too that is commonly happening to me is when people get me an X guard, I notice they typically can get a sweep on me. And I think it's because I'm not addressing the X guard hooks fast enough. I just let them get the hooks in. Here I'm going for an arm bar. But yeah, it's almost like a life principle. Now, one thing that's really interesting about leg attacks is leg attacks equal back attacks, right? So you can go back and forth. This is both from the offensive and defensive perspective. And if you can see the back, you can take the back. What do you think his hold is right now? Like, what do you think he's trying to go for if he was like a rock climber? That right there. Check in with me and do your job. Third is the name. Did the chain. So if you're attacking the leg and you feel them climb up your back, try to move to limit your back exposure. And vice versa, if you're getting your leg attacked, look for the back. So you see that? So basically, I was going for a heel hook, and I was thinking, holy crap, you know, like last time he got my back off the heel hook. So I used one of my legs I used the foot to press his hip to the ground. And when you do that, typically, you know, you're in a technical position, but sometimes I like to just mess around and find out. I obviously found out. So you want to, like, for example, do an outside senkaku where your top leg is wrapped around their back and not exposed to the ankle lock. And let's say if it was the same orientation that we were just, my left foot would be the one holding him to the ground, so he wouldn't be able to backline. But yeah, that opens up for that opens up for a technique in jiu-jitsu called faking it. So my first coach, J-Jack, actually used to do this in the form of like a heavy sigh when somebody was like passing his guard, to fake kind of like being tired, or, you know, sometimes there's a moment when you're rolling with a person where you can feel their heart break. You can feel them like mentally, emotionally, or physically just kind of like not want to fight anymore. And that's usually the time where people smell, you know, blood in the water, and they're like, yeah, like for example, when my opponent did a lazy low kick to a spinning back fist, that was a form of faking it, where she was faking being tired in order to set something up. So that's another key tip of faking it. Another form of faking it would be, let's say, you know, you're at a tournament or you're in an MMA fight, they have your back, they have a rear naked choke on. If you just have your body go completely limp, of course, keep your eyes open. That way the ref can't feel what your body is doing. The ref is just looking at your appearance, right? So keep your eyes open. Don't fake going to sleep and close your eyes, because the ref might stop the match or the fight. So keep your eyes open and just have your body go completely limp. And sometimes the person will let go because they think you've gone out. So if you're ever on either end, like if you're on the end where you're choking the person, like wait for the ref to stop you or wait for the tap, because imagine letting go and they're like, gotcha. Like, really? All right. So thank you so much for watching. This was a super interesting roll. It's always interesting to roll with upper belts, because I find when I analyze the footage, I learn so much more. It's almost like a higher level conversation, and the words are the technical movements.
The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose, motherfucker, we roll. Motherfucker, we roll. With some light-skinned girls and some pretty rolls. In this white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, cool world, I'll see you in the morning. In the morning, this is way too much, I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. Till then, fuck that, the world's ours. Sauce is Napoleon, my flows is Mongolian, my ice brought the goalies, and I embody every characteristic of the egotistic. He knows he's so fucking gifted. I just needed time alone with my own thoughts. Got treasures in my mind, but couldn't open up my own vault. I tell like creativity, purity, and honesty is honestly being crowded by these grown dogs. So one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. Till then, fuck that, the world's ours. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't try nobody, grip the trigger. Nobody call up the gang and they come and get jank. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. It's bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. She a that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't try nobody, grip the trigger. Nobody call up the gang and they come and get jank. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. It's bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage.
But my feet is in Bottega. Bitch, I'm getting money, give a fuck about a haters. It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. You keep me run no broke shit, that broke shit get old. You keep me run no hoe shit, these hoes get too bold. I'm allergic to that no shit, my wrist game on cold. I might peel my coupe like just see that. You Tamara?
What's Tia? My pretty, I'm like porn stars.
I'm playing basketball, but my ball stars.
Da Vinci on my wrist, cause I'm richer than most broads.
Yo, Nick, these bitches trippin', let's send them a postcard. I put on my jewelry just to go to the bodega. And I keep it with me just so that I'm feeling safer. Fendi on my body, but my feet is in Bottega. Bitch, I'm getting money, give a fuck about a haters.
Someone said Astro. Yeah. Hey. She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the FBO with duffels in my hands. I did half a Zan, 13 hours till I land. Had me out like a light, ay, like a light, ay, like a light. Ay, slept through the flight, ay, not for the night. 767, man, this shit got double bedroom, man. I still got scores to settle, man. I crept down the block, made a right, yeah. Cut the lights, yeah. Made a price, yeah. Niggas think it's sweet, it's on sight, yeah. Nothing nice. lights. Vegas, my ice. Jesus Christ, checks over stripes. That's what I like. That's what we like. Lost my respect. You're not a threat.
So, all right, thank you so much for watching, and you know, congrats. Thank you for subscribing, because we hit 1 million. Till next time, pound it out.